Welcome to this edition of Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. Federal government commissions 47.5 kilowatt solar system in Doka Hospital, Kaduna. TCN sensitizes members of the public on power lines right of way. On the interview segment, Engineer Jack Emuche, the General Manager, Transmission Enugu Region, will speak on the activities and the quest for improving bulk power wheeling capacity in the region. We hope to make your view exciting as you stay with us through this edition. I am Chinwenwa Anyaun. To further close the gap between power generation and distribution in the country, the federal government has commissioned a 47.5 kilowatt solar power system at Doka General Hospital in Kachia local government area of Kaduna State.
The Minister of Power, Engineer Salim Mamman, while commissioning the solar power system, said the project tagged Kaduna Solar for Health was conceived under a technical assistance program through the Nigerian Solar Program, which is a bilateral cooperation program that is funded by the European Union and implemented by the Department of International Development, DFID, in partnership with the Kaduna State Government.
In addition, the projects were also implemented under a framework which provides sustainable, reliable, and affordable energy supply consistent with our commitment to achieve United Nations Sustainability Development Goal 7. Your Excellency, our being here today reflects a deliberate demonstration of the importance both the state and the federal government attach to provision of electricity in the remote and underserved rural community all over Nigeria using distribution power generation with local availability sources such as solar.
Engineer Mamman explained that the success of the solar power project was as a result of policies by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration that allows for close collaboration with development partners to boost growth in the power sector.
This administration, under the leadership of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, DCFR, has developed the required policies and regulatory instruments that allow us to work closely with our development partners and prevent sector to lay a solid foundation upon which our people, include those in rural areas, will have access to reliable and sustainability electricity supply at affordable price.
He commended the Kaduna State government for the support it is giving to the federal government on power projects, especially on clearing of obstructions to right-of-way of power transmission lines. The minister charged the benefiting community to protect the facility.
I call on the community to protect this investment and support the hospital management. Thank you for your attention and God bless you.
The governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who was represented by the deputy governor, Hadiza Balarabe, said no society can function without quality health services, noting that it was in this regard that the state collaborated with development partners to provide embedded solar system in the public health centers.
With the attendant poor outcomes for mother and baby, we felt that the provision of lighting for health facilities should be paramount in our agenda for health. By improving power supply, we can help reduce the associated risk of loss of life.
He noted that since the installation of the first Kaduna Solar for Health system in 2017, government hospitals have recorded a considerable increase in their quality of service delivery and patient patronage. The governor said the Doka Hospital was selected for the flagship project because of its strategic location along the Abuja to Kaduna Highway.
With the installation of this solar system, hospital operations, including storage of blood for transfusion and other items requiring refrigeration, which rely on steady power supply, will remarkably improve.
The Deputy Governor, on behalf of the State Governor, lauded the Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Mamman, and other dignitaries for prioritizing the project commissioning ceremony.
To the glory of God Almighty and for the benefit of mankind, we cut this tip to signal the beginning, the commencement of operations of the solar unit in Doka General Hospital. Bring that picture. Well done. Well
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has reiterated its commitment towards upholding safety standards in the power sector by sensitizing members of the public on the distance they should keep away from power lines right of way.
The General Manager Health, Safety and Environment HSE at TCN, Mr. Kange Kefas, in an interview at the TCN corporate headquarters in Abuja, emphasized the hazard of building near or under power lines right of way.
International best practice was that it should be 50 meters for 330 and 30 meters for 132. This 50 meters is not that when there's a line here, you have 50 meters inside and 50. No. If there's a line here, and normally, the transmission line are normally 3. So the middle one, for the middle one, you count 25 meters this way and 25 meters this way, making 50 meters. For the 132, it's 30 meters, but then at the center line, you count 15 this side and 15 this side.
Mr. Kange also explained the processes for the acquisition of the right-of-way leave for power transmission lines nationwide.
Before a transmission route is acquired, there's an elaborate environmental process. You have people go there, look at how the line will pass, identify persons that are affected by this project, and in all the cases, they are even being paid, they are settled to leave. So if for whatever reason someone returns to the right of way, it's an infringement. So in fact, if it's not for moral reasons, when we demolish them, they are even supposed to pay us. Because we're not supposed to pay somebody infringes on you and then you pay him compensation. It makes no meaning. Legally, it's wrong. Because almost all the times, people on this right of ways have been identified, they have been notified, the data have been told to them, and then they have been paid. In fact, even with the World Bank standard is that you even help them to go and get another place to see that they don't come back at all. So they have no basis to come back. And for whatever reason they come back and they are being demolished, it's like a punitive measure. You don't pay compensation for it.
An official of TCN at the power transmission lines right-of-way in Dawaki town of Abuja further demonstrated the distance members of the public should maintain when conducting activities near power lines. The Principal Manager, Occupation, Health and Safety at TCN headquarters, Engineer Yusuf Saliu Mungadi, described the two major types of power transmission line and how non-power sector professionals can identify them.
To identify a 330 kV line and 132 kV line, we consider many things as follows. Number one, we consider the number of conductors used, then the size of conductors, the number of insulators used, the height of the structures, and then the span between the structures, and then the spacing between the conductors. As for the number of conductors, if you look at the 330 kV line, you can see that it is made up of twin conductors, double conductors. But if you look at the 132 kV, you see it is a single conductor.
Engineer Mungadi further explained the distance that must be maintained before siting any structure near power lines routes.
For 330 and 132 kV line, they are meant to transport power or to convey power or transmit power from the generation station to transmission substation. When they reach transmission substation, the power is being stepped down. Then the 33 kV lines are used to convey them, to take them outside or to convey them to rural communities, to homes or to villages, and then to some industries and other factories where electricity is to be used. We are standing inside the right of way of 330 kV line and 132 kV line. What is being made mandatory to maintain, or the distance to be maintained, or the clearance, is for 330 kV line is to maintain a distance of 50, that is 25 meters on both sides. For this type of 330 kV line, which has two sky wires, from the middle of this sky wire by the right hand side to the right to the structure, try to maintain a minimum of 25 meters. And then the other side, from the sky wire, 25 meters to the building there or to any structure there. That is for 330. For the 132 kV line, from the middle of the sky wire, a distance of 15 meters on the right side, 15 on the left side, making a total of 30 meters. For 330, it is 25 on both sides.
At a block molding site directly under the right of way of the transmission power lines at Dawaki area of Abuja, Engineer Mungadi warned about the dangers of such activities.
The issue of encroachment of right of way is a safety issue. And therefore, it is a serious issue because people have to be educated on the dangers associated with erecting temporary and permanent structures under or around the right of way of electric transmission line, or conducting businesses under it, because anything can happen. Sometimes we can have wire snap. If a wire snaps, it leads to a sustaining of severe electric shock, severe burns. Sometimes it leads to electrocution. Sometimes a large fire can develop, which may claim lives and property. As we have records, we witness this kind of issues sometimes back. Another issue or another negative effect is the issue of developing cancer through induction, through electromagnetic field. Although this is an issue that has not been scientifically proved, you should be on the safer side. At least the issue of wire snap, and then the violation of law, the law set up by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, that anybody who wants to construct or erect a building or a structure should maintain that distance we mentioned, or anybody who wants to conduct any business should be away. But as we can see now, we can see block industry here. If you look at down there, you can see how many houses were built directly under 330 kV line. Different formations. See block industries, see ornamental trees, see economic trees. They are all there. Economic trees and ornamental trees planted under this line. By and large, or within no time, those trees will now grow up and to be tripping this line. And then those houses, as you see them, the number is increasing. Before they were not like this, but the number is increasing. And this is a serious problem. Therefore, there must be a way, a measure to remove these structures before any harm occurs. Because definitely they are illegally staying here. All this came after this line. Therefore, if they are allowed, the number is going to increase. And these trading activities is getting rampant everywhere. And in the case of wire snap, we don't know the extent of the damage that will cause. It can lead to big fire that can destroy lives and property. It can lead to electrocution. It can lead to many negative things. Apart from the issue of emission of electromagnetic waves that gradually enter into the people that are transacting here in their body. Therefore, that should be stopped. Government should do something to stop that.
The Enugu region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is among the largest regions in the national transmission grid It covers power transmission facilities and operations across the 5 eastern states, Benue State to the north and Delta State to the south. On the interview segments in this edition, the General Manager, GM Transmission, Enugu Region, Engineer Jack Emuche, speaks on the activities and the quest for improving bulk power wheeling capacity of the region. Do stay with us for details. What is the bulk power wheeling capacity of Enugu Region?
We have about 1,300 MVA, and at 132 we have about 1,800 MVA at 132 level. Yeah.
Capacity building is one thing that TCN has intensified under the present management. How is that being felt in this region?
The issue of succession planning is something that the authority has started taking seriously, and I'm happy about that. And that aside, we have equally started training of our staff.
What are the expansion plans for the region?
We have ongoing installation of reactor, 35 MX reactor at our Makodi. We have ongoing installation of a 300 MVA transformer at Asabatias. We have completed, or we are also in the process of, completing the upgrading of Nibo Oka substation from 2x30 to 2x60. We have ongoing installation of 150 MVA transformer at New Haven substation. About last year, we completed the upgrade of the 2x30 MVA transformer to 2x60 MVA. At Oji River, currently going, we are upgrading the 50 MVA 132 6 kV transformer to 60 MVA 132 633 kV transformer. So you can see that virtually in all stations we have something happening, good.
Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, is a major customer to the TCN Enugu region. What is the level of cooperation between the two power utility companies?
We have scheduled a meeting with the EEDC to discuss interface challenges. These challenges, I said, span through operational issues. We will have some of the 30 kV feeders that are tripping our transformers as a result of faults from the lines. Some of these feeders trip about 70 times in a month. This is not acceptable.
What are the challenges that are being addressed in the region?
I would say that the most challenging problem we have is the problem of what we call load rejection by discos. We're equally worried about the frequent incessant trippings of distribution lines. It's on record that we have lost a good number of our switch gears as a result of faults from unprotected distribution lines. So it's a challenge to us. My thinking is that there must be a way. We must come with legislation that will indemnify TCN for loss of equipment arising from faults from unprotected distribution lines. As of today, that provision is not made, but I think it's a necessary legislation that should come into force. It's a challenge.
That was an informative interview session with the General Manager, Transmission, Enugu Region, Engineer Jack Emuche. We promise to bring you more reports and interviews on the various substations under the region in subsequent editions. We're bringing you more reports in the Power Flash segment. Please don't go away. Welcome to the feedback segment. We shall be taking comments from updates on our social media platforms. On our Facebook page, we have the following comments. TCN posted a report on the recent approval of NTEP 1 projects by the African Development Bank. This post was liked by 88 people. 8 persons commented and 25 others shared it. Among the top comments was that of Isa Umar Farouk, who said, "May God give you the strength to conclude this project, our amiable MD. We salute your courage and leadership." The management of TCN recently received the representatives of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, led by Amine Mati, at its corporate headquarters in Abuja, where they discussed issues on the power sector prospects. 55 people liked the post, 4 people commented on it, and 5 others shared it. Ibrahim B. Rurum said, "Great. TCN always committed towards improving the electricity supply in Nigeria and West African states. Surely God will never turn down the word of the good donors. We are proud of your continuous sacrifice to the nation and humanity." The high point of the recent 14th General Assembly of the West African Power Pool WAP, hosted by TCN and Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited in Abuja, was tweeted. This post got a comment, 1 retweet, and 2 likes. NAV Concept at NAV Concept tweeted this: "I hope the discussion at this distinguished assembly moves us forward in action." TCN also tweeted the national grid performance regarding TCN and DISCO's interface in the midweek of November 2019. This also drew reactions from tweeters. There were 3 comments, 12 retweets, and 18 shares. Bello Toha Deyinka Adedamola at Bello_Toha tweeted this: "One thing I observed from the pictograms is that the discos supply below what is allocated, with at IBEDC_NG being an exceptional case, and I begin to wonder why it's so." Biggie Large at Gist Me More made a request to Port Harcourt Disco at official PHED, saying, "Give my community light, Okariki, Kolo, Yenegwa, Bayelsa State light. 11 months, no light." Zain at Zain for Zayin tweeted his observation, saying, "Check how Yola are fully utilizing their grid." On the YouTube page, TCN uploaded the video of the 96th edition of Power Wheel, its weekly program that enlightens the public about its activities and those of the entire power sector in Nigeria. The video got 1 comment and 48 persons viewed it. A viewer identified as Queen commended the program, saying, "Nice one, loving the videos. You should look into using SM Zeus. It's the fastest way to grow your channel." The 99th edition of the Power Wheel program had 74 persons viewing it, with 3 other persons liking the video uploaded by TCN on its page. That's it on the feedback segment. Keep watching Power Wheel and feel free to visit the TCN social media platforms to express yourself about the activities of the utility company, which is striving hard to improve the bulk power supply experience in Nigeria. We appreciate you for staying through for this program. Join us next week on the same station for a refreshing edition of Power Wheel. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to connect with us on these other platforms showing on your screen. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Goodbye for now.